Assalamu alaikum and hello everyone. My name is Aiza and I'm a youth support worker here at the Urban Alliance on Race Relations. I run programming for Muslim youth and their parents. And today I'm here with Salaf Jamal, and we'll be having a conversation about mental health and stress management. Salaf is a qualifying registered psychotherapist, and she's also the founder of Move and Improve Canada. And I'll hand it off to Sadaf to introduce herself and also share a little bit about the work that she does.
Thank you, Aiza. Thank you for having me. Hello, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. I'm very happy to be here and really want to encourage youth for all their initiatives for bringing together such programs to help people. Mashallah, UARR, I'm very proud of your initiatives and however way you help the community. So thank you so much for that. As Aiza already mentioned, that I'm a registered psychotherapist in the qualifying category, and I'm the founder of Move and Improve Canada, which is a non-profit organization. It's helping people have physical and mental health through services that cater to and address those issues. So through psychotherapy, through physical and mental health services such as body-mind practices and grounding practices. So we've been working and collaborating with Toronto Public Health and different places with MP Salma Zahid to bring together programming for the community, for the Muslim community. So we're very proud of and very humble to be offering such help and services to people, to Muslim community in specific. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. So I think to start off, maybe we can talk a little bit about the challenges that parents face when it comes to dealing with stress and mental health, especially in light of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yes, this pandemic has been very life-changing, I would say, for everybody, not just parents, but because the topic today has to do with parents. So I would just like to address this, that there's so much fear, so much worry, there's so much anxiety and stress regarding when is this going to be over. I am a parent myself. When kids are home, everybody's at home, everybody's in your face. That can be very, very emotionally, cause a lot of emotional distress. Especially for mothers also, because they never get a break. Kids with online schooling, kids are always at home, and then if a woman is working from home, then it adds more to the workload to take care of the home, of children, and then their own business, their own work. So yeah, there's a lot of anxiety going around. People are having difficulty eating, or they're eating too much, or they're hardly sleeping. Some people in other cases, there's increase in tobacco and alcohol use. Domestic violence is increasing. Child abuse is increasing. So I'm getting a lot of contacts on psychology today. From children, from youth actually, who are suffering from abuse at home, because instead of 2 eyes, now they have 4 eyes constantly around them. So and there is a lot of domestic violence that's increasing. So yeah, I get those emails a lot on psychology today. So it's very distressing to see all of that, how it's impacting people around us, just staying at home and not having any break from this. Also in this lockdown, it is all increasing. So yeah, there's people are losing their jobs. There's a lot of worry about financial situation, and just that some people who have to send kids to school, there's always fear for sending them to school. God knows, you never want anything to happen to your family members. So yeah, there's a lot going on in terms of what's happening to people during this pandemic, and I just named a few. There's more to it. So yeah, thank you for asking this question.
Yeah, and just to follow up on that, how can we maybe begin to sort of address these challenges, or if you wanted to share some like quick tips or strategies, because you're right, you did name a lot of different challenges. So, how do we go about addressing them? Is my next question.
So there is no one size fits all. Everybody's different. Everybody's social, family, financial, economic situation. Everybody's different. So these are whatever I'm about to tell you is just some recommendations that you can try. Again, when you are stressed out, when you lose your job, when there is no family support, when family cannot physically come to support you, it's just very hard. And I just want to validate this for people that it is hard time. We are going through hard times. And if you are living with family, this is the time when we have to come together as a team. It's easier said than done. Some family members are very abusive, very, I don't want to use the word, but very toxic. So it's very important to set healthy boundaries. If you cannot say anything nice, don't say anything at all. This is the time when people really need to focus on what is important. So again, as a psychotherapist, I can just give you certain strategies. Again, one-on-one counseling is always beneficial. And I will get to those resources later on in our talk, Isa. But just for starters, I don't know how you would react to this, but this is the time actually when, when we are in hard times, sometimes what life is trying to teach us is to look for or listen to what we have never listened for so long. So maybe it is the way God is trying to teach us, or if you believe in universe or whatever, it's trying to teach us something through these rough times. So it requires us to slow down, maybe listen to that voice that comes from within ourselves, and we don't, because of the hustle bustle of life, we don't get to listen to it. So maybe this is the time that calls for us to slow down and maybe tune out the noise of our ego and maybe tune into that the voices of our intuitions, and just focusing more on what I say tonic thoughts than toxic thoughts. Because when we are thinking negatively all the time, it really affects our immune system. So, and toxic thoughts produce toxic chemicals in our brain and our body. So, prefer tonic thoughts to produce tonic chemicals in our body as opposed to toxic thoughts, because we don't want those toxic chemicals in our body. Uh, Again, those positive thoughts really help our immune system. So sometimes they work wonders compared to vitamin C and boost our immune system. So this is the time when it's better to uh, hopefully think more non-material blessings, focusing more on gratitude, that be and I want to have. So just fine tuning the way our brain works, because gratitude turns what we have into enough. So more gratitude in our lives, focusing on things that you cannot buy with money. So let's say if you lost your job, maybe think about it that, or all of us maybe think about things that we cannot buy with money, such as love, true friends, connection with family. Those are the things that are very important to now turn our directions, our focus to. And also tell people around us, our family members or friends, that we love them and we care for them. They mean so much to us. Uh, Before pandemic, I don't know, because we're going to school, we're going to work. It's just we're always busy. I have gone through that too, and just staying at home with family actually help shifted my focus towards my family too. It can make or break the family when you shift your attention all to your family. But it is a time when we really have to make very tough decisions for ourselves, for our spirituality. So it is a time that calls for what I say spiritual fitness as well, not just physical fitness. I am not the kind of person who encourages people to just always be positive, think of positive thoughts and all of that. It's very hard to do. And how can you just not think about the problems in your life? How can you just avoid them and dodge them? So I do understand that. And those, when you are sitting with yourself, low feelings do surface up, and it's very hard to focus on positive thoughts. But if you go to the gym or you take care of your health or physical fitness, you know that lifting heavy weights or strength training is very hard initially, but then slowly your body gets used to it and you become stronger and stronger. So it's just like that, similar to that. It's same idea applies to our spiritual fitness. It would be very hard to focus on, again, what I mentioned, tonic thoughts as opposed to toxic thoughts. Focus on something positive, focus on gratitude. These things are very hard initially, but they get easier and easier as you build your spiritual muscle. So this is the time, really, we have to tune out everything else and focus on what is our heart telling us. So yeah, so for that, you can try meditating, and acknowledging those negative thoughts that surface, and say, yes, you are there, I see you, I hear you, but I just need 5 minutes to myself. That's it. And then find a healthy balance. In doing that, find a healthy balance between your logical mind and your intuitive mind. So I'm not asking everybody to just stay in the clouds and everything will be happy, but also try to find a balance between staying in the moment as well. So staying in the moment is very important at this time. And for parents, it's very hard to say, especially mothers of younger children, stay in the moment because there are just kids running around you. They're driving you crazy. So it is a tough job to be a parent. It's very hard. I am a parent myself, and there were times when I almost pulled my hair off. I hope my son is not listening. But it is hard. I hear you. But 5 minutes, taking 5 minutes of your day is very important. Just for yourself to ground, to practice breathing exercises. Yeah, that's why maybe that's why I want to say that in our faith, the status of parents are even more higher. It's higher because of the responsibilities uh, Allah has put on us. And heaven lies under the feet of the mother, and it's because the kind of work they do for their children, the kind of sacrifice they make for their children. This is a time when we actually realize our potential, and then we move forward with it. So yeah, so those were some of the strategies to practice more grounding skill. 5 minutes, take time to yourself, be more grateful, count your blessings, look for things to appreciate that money cannot buy, those kind of things. But that's on the spiritual level. As if it's okay if I can share to address their own stress, and also making their kids part of the team. So some of the strategies that you can do is maybe get the kids to, because everybody's online these days, kids are mostly online, we are online, we're doing our work online, and Zoom fatigue is very common now. So maybe, take a break from all of that, and then ask your kids, or all of you as a family, what you can do is scan those really, really old family photos. If you have that printed, scan them, put them in a folder. So the kids will get to know about, their relatives, their, extended family members. That's one thing. This is also a perfect time to get your Marie Kondo on. Like, for example, declutter instead of shopping for more. You can things. You can also learn to cook as a family. For mothers, I really encourage you to assign chores, small, achievable chores to your children. Help get them to empty out the dishwasher or load the dishwasher or help you cut vegetables. So use them, look at them as part of your team. So your support circle. Everybody would benefit a lot if they look at each other as part of their support circle. Also learn maybe if you like, learn a new language. If your grandparents speak a language or some other language that you really want to learn, this is the time. Also, if you can have a virtual dinner party with your friends or family, and you can also, what you can do is mend your clothes. You know, some clothes are ripped. Instead of buying new clothes, mend the old ones. Read a lot. Library is not closed, it is just online, so you can still read a lot. If you really, really want to have fun, you can do your taxes. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Uh, yeah, and just try to alleviate your stress uh, by trying to view this obstacle that we are in our life as an opportunity, and approach all situations with hopefully a positive attitude. Maybe surround yourself or talk to people who are optimistic, they're positive people, so your positive energy will surface up. um, it's Our Prophet Muhammad SAW encouraged us to have a good company of people, so we learn from them. We learn goodness and good values from them. So it's very important to learn from people who have that positive energy. If you, I just want to say that this positive energy is that the more we absorb positive energy, the more we are able to radiate it to others as well. So, so really think about what you can control, what not so much about what you cannot. So those are just a few things um, that are coming into my mind for how you can address it as a family. Play more board games, or just play Among Us together. That's okay too. Yeah, so there's so many things we can do to connect with each other. This is the time when we actually turn towards our family members and revive and renew our sense of connection with not just family members, but with ourselves too. So work out more, and yeah, these are things I'm trying to do. I'm not doing all of them. I'm just trying. Sometimes I fail, sometimes I succeed. So I give myself that much that room, that sometimes I can do it, sometimes I cannot do it. It's okay if I fail. I can try another day. Um, Seize the day. So that's how I look at it. Inshallah, may Allah make it easy for you. This is a hard time. I understand that. It's a very hard time when I see all those emails and when I meet my clients. It's people are struggling a lot. So just take it day by day, inshallah, and keep connection and keep your support circle around you. That's all. I think I'm talking for too long.
Oh, some really, really good points, especially when you emphasize on the fact that there's no sort of one solution or one way to go about dealing with these challenges. And then also the point about reconnecting with yourself, with your family, with your community, virtually. Some really, really good points. I'm just going to jump right into the last question, which is sort of related. If you wanted to maybe share some resources that parents can find outside in the community or otherwise, to help in, once again, addressing these mental health challenges.
Right. So again, you can count all your blessings and everything. It works to an extent, but you really need to have professional help if you consider it's necessary. So I would leave you with this. Remember this acronym RAIN, RAIN. R for recognize your problems. If it's you need to if you feel that you need to absolutely take care of them, you take care of them. Allow whatever is happening in front of you. Once you recognize it, you're basically allowing yourself to address it. So how can you address it? You have to investigate. Um, that you don't want to just sit around in that dark pit all the time. You have to do something. And then once you find out your resource, then you nurture yourself and help yourself come out of the dark times or any problem that you're surrounded with. So some of the resources I'm going to give you would be a blend of both Muslim community and also for anybody to reach out to and get help from. So there is disaster distress helpline. There is kids helpline too, elder care locator, CAMH, crisis helpline, National Domestic Violence Hotline. Then there is Heart House Hospice. I work for them. They provide grief support, bereavement support. So those are some of like anybody can reach out to them. Or Muslim community specific, for women, there is Nisa helpline. There's also support from Nasiha, Khalil Center, and there is, of course, there is Sakina Homes, Nisa Homes. I really apologize if I'm forgetting some names, but these are major names that come to my mind right now. There's Noor Counseling, Muslim Trauma Therapist. Serene Heart Counseling is also amazing. Saima and Hana, they're amazing psychotherapists there. They provide so many resources and help and psychotherapy, one-on-one counseling, so many things. So Serene Heart Counseling is one. And then there is Concentric Share, so many things. Newer Counseling, I hope I mentioned it. And now some psychotherapists are doing it privately. It's their private practice. So I think Newer Counseling is a private practice. Kamila Salim, check that out. It's also, check her out. She's a great psychotherapist. Asma, if you go to Psychology Today, you're gonna find all these names there. Just type their names and they'll show up. There's also Positive Thought Counseling by Nabil. These are all Muslim psychotherapists. I am also a psychotherapist. You can look for me on Psychology Today, connect with me through there. Who else? I'm Kamila Abir. There is Irina, Saima Zahir. There are so many counselors. Adam, you just type their names on Psychology Today and they'll show up. So reach out to them, seek one-on-one counseling if that's what you need. And inshallah, Move and Improve Canada is going to join this amazing team of people, of organizations who are providing psychotherapy, inshallah, by next year. So I'm very excited to announce that, and hopefully by next year that will also be available. And yeah, it's just like, there is one thing to make dua, and don't underestimate the power of dua. But there's another thing to actually reach out for professional help. And maybe it is just that your dua is getting answered, that Allah is putting this in your heart to reach out for professional help. So never look at these resources as somebody's like, it's just dunya, it's just, I have to rely on Allah and that's it. So there is, how Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said that, tie your camel and then put your trust in Allah. So it's very important to seek one-on-one counseling. It's very important if you're suffering at home if domestic violence is increasing, it's very important to reach out to these organizations and get help. And I just would really, really, it's my humble request from all parents, please. I know we can be very angry with our kids, and sometimes you just want, you look at them as like, oh my gosh, you were the worst mistake of my life. Instead of a compassionate parent. This is the time when they need a compassionate parent. Somebody who just listens to them. You don't have to solve problems for people. Psychotherapists, we're not solving problems. We're just listening to people in a non-judgmental, non-anxious way. Compassionate presence, non-judgmental presence is what children need right now from us. And parents gotta, our kids are not gonna be doctors, engineers tomorrow. So this is the time when we actually look at our children as who they are. They're human beings. They came through us. It was an honor that Allah used us to bring out this human race on this earth. So it's an honor. And the way we can just show that humility in that honor is just be compassionate to them. Just be there for them. Don't fix them. Just listen to them. Don't give them any advice. Maybe you should try that. Or all the list of advice that I gave you, please don't give it to them. Just be there for them. Because at the end of the day, they're just words. They're not that heart-to-heart connection. The best thing a child can have is a loving parent. That's it. So just sit with it's cold, it's going to be cold next week. Make your hot chocolate, snuggle into the blanket, watch a movie, something like that. Sometimes it's the simplicity that people need. It's not something fancy shamancy that children need. They don't need a perfect mom. They need a happy mom. That's it. It's as simple as that. So this is a time, inshallah, please tell your heart to be more simple, less perfect. Please, perfectionism is a mental health disorder. Don't be perfect, just be. That's it. That's all I have to say as a mother to all the mothers and also to all fathers out there. Just be simple and compassionate with your children. That's all.
Thank you so much. And that's such a simple but such a strong message as well. And I really want to thank you for sharing that. And I think that was a really good note to end off on as well. Thank you so much for sharing all of those resources and all of those people alongside yourself who are doing such amazing work for not only the Muslim community, but the community at large. And then once again, thank you so much for coming in and having this dialogue with me today. I really, really appreciate your time. And really, really appreciate your willingness and your openness to have these very almost difficult sort of discussions, but important discussions. So once again, Sadaf, thank you so much for joining. Hope to collaborate in the future as well. And
yes,
if you have any words to end off with, that would be great as well.
Thank you, Aiza. Thank you so much for inviting me. I am just a parent here, sitting here as a parent, not as any highly qualified professional or whatever. It's just like a mother talking to all parents here right now. So I hope you accept that humility, and I hope you are that compassionate presence for your children. That's something that I really hope from all the parents and for all the children. So thank you so much for having me.
Great. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for tuning in and listening. And we'll see you again next week with another video. Take care.
All right. Take care. Assalamu alaikum, everyone.